What if your midnight snack wasn't hunger, but a heartbreak? You don't just crave food, you crave relief. That binge wasn't weakness, it was survival. But here's the truth. You don't need another diet. You need to heal the wound beneath the weight. And in this video, we'll go deep into emotional eating and how hypnotherapy gently untangles shame from your plate and brings peace back to your body. I know this too well. I've lived it. Now, what if it's not about fat, but about feelings? Let's start with the truth most people are too afraid to say out loud. The weight isn't always on the body. Sometimes the weight is on the soul. We talk a lot about losing kilos or cutting calories, but no one talks about the emotional weight we carry, the weight of unspoken shame, the burden of rejection and abandonment, the heaviness of not feeling good enough, the ache of not being chosen. And there's this war within us. That war is not on the plate. That war is in our mind. Have you ever wondered where the shame came from? Maybe we can go back a little bit, not to your first diet, but to your first wound. Maybe it was being teased in school. Maybe it was the comment from your aunt or uncle. You'd be so pretty if you lost weight. See how skinny you are. See how fat you are, horrible. Watching your mom starve, maybe, and calling it self-control. Being praised only when you were smaller, or feeling invincible when you were bigger. Your subconscious mind recorded these moments, not as stories, but as your truths. And it said, I'm too much. My worth is in my body. If I gain weight, I lose love. If I lose weight, I'm sick. If I eat, I'm bad. If I'm thin, I'm safe. Do these words remind you of anything? I want you to imagine your body as a diary, writing down every moment of judgment or rejection in curves, in cravings, and in silence. Now, there's a war behind and between your emotional weight versus your physical weight, right? There's a war. But here's the real secret. Many people are trying to lose weight from their bodies when what they really want is to lose the emotional weight they've been carrying for years. And I want that to sink in a little bit. And I'm going to talk about emotional weight and physical weight. Emotional weight is unprocessed grief, extra fat storage, physical chronic stress, hormonal imbalance, emotional eating, bloating or gain, body shame, inflammation, repressed anger, tension, tightness. The body speaks what the mouth cannot say, guys. So food becomes comfort. Food becomes distraction. It becomes rebellion or reward, not just fuel. What your subconscious believes most matters. And this is why hypnotherapy becomes transformative. Because your subconscious mind, I always say, runs 90 to 95% of your behaviors and your beliefs. It definitely affects when you eat, why you crave what you crave, how you feel about your body, how safe you feel being seen. You might consciously say, I want to be healthier, but subconsciously, you may believe, if I lose weight, I'll get attention I'm not ready for. I had a client who said that to me actually. You might be saying thinness means vulnerability. I'd rather be safe. You might be saying food is my only comfort. You might say stuff within yourself, I don't deserve to feel good in my body. You don't honestly need more willpower. You just need to rewrite the script. And I want to really touch about this honestly because I've battled with my weight for as long as I can imagine or remember. When I was a lot younger, I was very skinny and I hated myself skinny. Hated it because everybody around me always talked about my weight. I was very lanky. Everybody, my grandparents, and I also had an issue with food. I was a choosy eater as a child. But people didn't want to understand that that was just who I was. They thought I had no right to choose. and I would only eat what was given to me. Now, even at that time, I was happy with eating nothing. That's how bad it was. But then on top of it, they said, no, we're not going to give you the permission not to eat nothing. You must eat what we give you to eat. And so I hated food. I would eat and stuff myself and then go and throw up. I would close my nose to throw food down my throat and just drink water. I wouldn't taste it. That's how bad it was. And then, of course, people will ask me, are you sick? I look sick. I look malnourished just because I had this whole challenge around food. Now, when I got older and I was able to control what I ate, when I came out of university and I moved abroad, guess what happened? I ate everything. And then I added weight and then started to hate myself for adding weight. Because once again, society, everybody's saying, you're so fat, you're so this, you're so that. Look at your stomach. So I went from being skinny and people complaining to being fat and people still complaining. Moral of the story, people will complain. Do you? That's the moral of the story. So now the chatter is the next thing, that chatter in your head. You are eating something that you are enjoying. You say, this thing is going to kill me, but you're eating it. What are you telling your body? Then losing weight is another language that your body doesn't like to hear. Do you feel good losing anything? If you lose your phone, are you happy? If you lose money, are you happy? If you lose somebody, are you happy? No. So if you lose weight, would you be happy? No. But you can release it. You can release it. You can let go of weight. You can release it. You can bless it and release it. That can happen. And so it changes the thought that no, for some people, maybe they have lost so many things back to back. You now say, I want to lose weight. Your body is saying, no, we're not losing anything again. So we're going to hold on to this weight like your life depended on it, because we ain't losing nothing no more. I remember in one of my hypnotherapy sessions when I wanted to do something really deep about my weight, I just saw all the times where people said too many negative things about me. And then when I added it, it was because I needed something to hold on to. Because I was a people pleaser, I felt like I needed to hold on to my weight to be able to hold on to other people's problems. Can you imagine that? In my subconscious. So I can consciously try all the diets in the world, which I did try, but it will never work continuously. Even if it works for a short period, my body goes back because I need the weight to carry people's problems. Can you imagine that? So it's so important what your subconscious is saying to you. And hypnotherapy can help you uncover the emotional hunger. It will. Because what if your hunger isn't just for food? What if it wasn't? Mine definitely wasn't. What if it's for safety? What if it's for comfort? What if it's for validation? What if it's for connection? What if it's for permission to rest? What if it's there as a sense of control? Hypnotherapy will guide you gently into a deeply relaxed state, an emotionally safe space where you really can figure it out. Because look at me sharing mine. I was able to access the root of the emotional eating. I was able to hear the subconscious belief driving the pattern. And I was able to create a new internal agreement, one that was rooted in compassion, clarity, and choice. I want you to imagine you're sitting on a long table and your cravings sit beside you like guests. Each one has a story. I'm sugar because I soothe your sadness. I'm salty snacks because I give you something to do when you're lonely. Just imagine that they're saying all those things. And then hypnotherapy come in and you start to listen without judgment and then start to choose the right things for you, right? And you have a choice to choose differently. I'll share one of my clients' stories with you. Her name, Ada, once again, not a real name. A beautiful, vibrant 36-year-old woman who had tried every diet under the sun, just like I did. She didn't come to hypnotherapy to lose weight. She came because she felt disconnected from her body. That's why she came. She didn't believe that hypnotherapy could do anything. She would whisper to me, I hate what I see in the mirror, and I don't even know why. Does this sound like your voice? During her session, we uncovered a forgotten moment when she was 10 years old. She was in a family photo. She wore her favorite yellow dress. But when the photos came out, her uncle laughed at her and said, terrible uncle by the way, Ada, you are getting too fat. Who will marry you like this? Can you imagine? And that sentence became a curse she carried into adulthood. She had built a wall of weight, not to punish herself, but to protect herself. Can you beat that? And through our sessions, she didn't just address her body. I helped her release the shame, forgive the voice, and reconnect with joyful embodiment. And that can also be your story today. What if this weight loss is not in your body? She didn't just lose kilos, by the way. She lost the need to apologize for existing. And today, Ada dances, eats mindfully, looks in the mirror and smiles. Not because she's thinner, but because she's free. And that story can well also be my story as well. And maybe your story as well. What if what you're carrying isn't just weight? What if it's the story you never got to release? What if your body is not your enemy, but it's your messenger? And healing doesn't come from punishment. It honestly comes from presence. That's the only way it can come. So today I want you to journal your triggers for emotional eating. Journal it. In fact, what I want you to do is after you journal it, I want you to write a compassion script to yourself. Who would you be without those beliefs about your body? Write a letter to that self of yours. Write a letter. But above and beyond that, come to me so that I can help you. You might need more work, but you can start on your own. Start the process on your own. Write that letter to yourself and just tell yourself, sorry. Forgive yourself for those words. Forgive yourself for the words of your parents, uncles, aunts, guardians, teachers, and for making their voice your voice. And release it today. And start to tell yourself today that you exist not for anyone's pleasure, but for your pleasure. And no matter what you look like today, the truth is that you can do something about it. And most times it starts with your thoughts. So if you click the link below, it will bring you directly to me. Let's start your journey to healing and releasing everything that needs to be released, whether weight, emotionally or physically. I got you. My name is Adeola Kingsley James. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share me with others. That's the one I actually want the most. Share me with others so that you're not growing alone. We all grow together. Love and light.